Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, this is Lithium017 bringing you collecting tip number 3. This is where to find stuff, where to look. Now you decided what you want to collect for, you've decided what your budget's going to be, well, where do you actually look? I've been collecting since roughly 2007, I took it seriously in 2009, and I'm only 23 years old. I've got a lot of this stuff. Some of it's rare and I can't find out in the wild, let's say, and a lot of it I could actually just find locally. So where do you actually look when you want to collect? Well, I have 5 or 6 different options for you to look. Many of them might seem obvious, but hopefully I have something new to say. So the first thing that I can suggest is simply talk to your friends. Your friends might not be into collecting or keeping old video games, and they might still have them. Now your friends also, if you let them know you want to collect, and you let them know what games you might want, when your birthday comes around, you never know, they might surprise you. For example, my good friend Jordan, he gave me a Turok Complete game because I was missing it on the N64 when my birthday hit. And this is in phenomenal condition. I'm not sure if this is the one that he grew up with, but I think it was. I think he kept it, and he's just not into collecting like I am, so he decided to donate to a good cause and give me his game, which is fantastic. Thank you so much, Jordan. So definitely talk to your friends. The next thing I can suggest is go to your garage sales. At garage sales, most of the time people don't know what they have and they don't look it up online. They're just looking to get rid of it, and you can find things at a really good deal. But garage sales are really hit or miss, and they can be really far away from each other. So if you only have to ride a bike, maybe try and find out some phone numbers and call the people up first and just ask, do you have any games for sale, rather than making the trip to begin with. But you never know what you might find. For example, I remember finding a Super Smash Bros. For $5 in box with a manual complete, and it was amazing. One of my good friends also found a Conker's Bad Fur Day for the same price, $5 with box and with everything, and that's more of a $50, $60 game. So definitely go to your garage sales. Next thing, if you can drive or ask your parents, but every once in a while, I would say at least once a month, I go to my local thrift store, like a Value Village. I have 3 or 4 that I go in my local hometown that are basically secondhand stores. And occasionally you'll find a gem. If you know your stuff, and if you have a smartphone, you can usually check if it's rare or not. But I found in my local game store, not a local game store, a local thrift store, this Donkey Kong NES set. So it's Super Nintendo, boxed, awesome condition, $40. This is something that I did not want to have shipped to me online. I was kind of waiting to find it in the wild, and when you do find them, it's a joy, and it's a great time. It's part of the rush of the experience of collecting, I guess. Awesome when you find something actually out in the wild. So definitely go to your Value Villages, your thrift stores, any secondhand shops, and look for games. Another example that I can talk about is I found a copy of Evo for the Super Nintendo for $5, and that game is like an $80 game. So if you're adamant about going to them and you really want to collect, take a trip and try and go at least once a month just to see what they have. The next thing that you can definitely do is go to the actual game stores. So if you have local game stores or local collecting stores or retro shops, or even EB Games or a GameStop or something like that, sometimes they have really good deals. When Blockbuster was going out of business, they were selling games at a ridiculously low price, and that's where I actually picked up this copy of Spirit Tracks that's sealed. I normally don't collect for handheld, but this time I decided to do so because it was, I think it was $15 or something like that or less, and it's sealed and it's a Zelda game, so I decided to keep it like that. And the next one, once you've pretty much exhausted all of your actual places to look physically and go to, the next thing I can suggest is looking online at ad sites. So not actual auction sites, but something like a kijiji.ca or a Craigslist or your local newspaper ads. So go there and read some of the ads and send off some messages, but if you actually want to meet the person, if you want to meet them in person, actually buy something or sell something, definitely go with a friend, go with a parent, meet at a neutral location like a Starbucks or a coffee shop or something like that. I'm not really comfortable with having people come to my house, so I more than often actually just simply meet them at a neutral location. So examples that I have for that are all of these NES games. I don't really order NES games online ever, and if I find them for a really good deal in person, then I will usually pick them up. So all of these games, $5 each. Most of my NES games that I have, actually, I think I bought all of them in person. I didn't buy any of them online, and that's that entire shelf I just found out in the wild. Normally on Kijiji and things, more people are figuring out what things are worth, but occasionally you'll find a really good deal. So just be patient and hunt online if you can. Then when all else fails, the next thing to do is to actually go to the auction sites online, like an eBay or an Amazon or something like that. I prefer eBay to Amazon. Amazon doesn't always use the correct pictures, but why would I go online? For a rare item such as this is a Just Go 30th anniversary Nintendo 64, one of the rarest ones that exist. There is no way that I would possibly find this in the wild. So once I had some holes in my collection to fill and I knew that I actually wanted this, that's when I went online and would just search there all the time until I got lucky. Be patient and you can eventually find a deal. But for now, I would suggest just stick to eBay. Don't use those other sites. If you're looking for rare things from Japan, maybe wait a while until you really get into collecting. So those are all the places I can suggest to look. Maybe I'll just go through them really quickly again. Talk to your friends. Definitely go to garage sales. Look at your local thrift stores. Go to your local game stores and your GameStop and your EB Games. Sometimes they have really good deals. You never know. I bought a game Geist for 99 cents the other week for GameCube, and that was actually at EB Games, so sometimes they do have ridiculously good sales. Definitely check out local ad sites, and then if all else fails, turn to eBay. So that is my collecting tip number 3. Hope all of you have a great day and have a happy beginning of December. Talk to you later, guys.